We had the workshop in the afternoon, and now we are here in open session, and we will begin with an report on closed session items, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Okay, in closed session, we discussed employee issues and negotiations, and there was no action taken. And Dr. Weiswright, would you like to lead us in the pledge?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Thank you. And Mrs. Reed, would you like, we had no, summarize the workshops. Okay, you had
No problem, President Davidson. Tonight we were really fortunate. We were really graced with the presence of Lee Elementary School. And so they showed up in full force with a choir who sang a lovely rendition of a patriotic song I don't think many of us had heard previously. And they had a beautiful 4th and 5th grade choir, lots of staff and community members that came. Principal Williams really spoke to an overarching theme that they kicked their school year off with this year, which was really about the trust that the community has in their school and the perpetuation of how to continue trust as they have 11 new staff members on site at Lee Elementary School this year. He had 2 wonderful student speakers, as well as the opportunity to recognize their hero of the heart, which is 4 lovely ladies that are master gardeners that are the gardening ladies of Lee Elementary School. And so we had a wonderful start to our meeting earlier this afternoon.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Now we're moving on to reports, and we've got our student board member, Bryn. Would you like to share for us?
Good evening, Madam President, Superintendent Pulver, Executive Cabinet, members of the Los Alamitos community. My name is Brent Schmidt, and I'm honored to serve as your student representative to the Board of Education from Los Alamitos High School. Here is my report. Activities. The first event I'd like to highlight is something celebrated not only at La Salle, but nationwide, Red Ribbon Week. This week emphasizes the importance of living a drug-free life and making choices that lead to long-term health, happiness, and success. At La Salle, we recognize Red Ribbon Week to raise awareness about the dangers of drug and alcohol use while empowering students to advocate for themselves and their futures. Through themed activities, educational messaging, and campus involvement, we encourage Griffins to take pride in making healthy decisions and supporting one another. It is an opportunity for our school community to reaffirm our shared commitment to safety, wellness, and respect, values that help every student thrive in and out of the classroom. To make the week fun and engaging, ASB and various clubs on campus hosted a variety of events. ASB organized Spill Your Guts or Fill Your Guts, a trivia game focused on Red Ribbon Week topics and facts. Students who answered correctly received candy, while incorrect answers meant tasting a condiment packet. Another highlight was the OC Healthcare Table, where students wrote what they are grateful for and why they choose to live drug-free life on puzzle pieces, which were then assembled into a mural displayed on campus. Academics. At La Salle, students learn academics and life skills not only in the classroom, but also through many clubs and organizations that enrich our campus. One such example is our outstanding Model United Nations, or MUN, program. The La Salle High School MUN program offers students an exceptional opportunity to engage with global issues while developing strong leadership and communication skills. As delegates, students research and represent countries debating real-world topics ranging from international security to human rights and environmental sustainability. Through conferences and simulations, MUN members learn diplomacy, negotiation, collaboration, and public speaking, skills that prepare them for success in college and beyond. MUN also fosters a community of informed, curious, and globally minded students who are passionate about making a positive impact. The team even travels out of state to compete at high-level conferences, which is an incredible experience for our delegates. Overall, the program builds essential life skills and keeps students connected to world events, something that is especially important for our generation. Athletics. The Los Alamitos High School varsity boys water polo team exemplifies Griffin pride through dedication, teamwork, and competitive spirit both in and out of the pool. Led by Coach Rob Grayley and captains Noah Garrison and Sebastian Mock, the team balances rigorous academics with the demands of a challenging sport. Through early morning practices, intense games, and strong camaraderie, they push each other to excel while demonstrating perseverance, sportsmanship, and the true Griffin spirit. The team finished with a strong record and a league title, showcasing a successful season with a final record of 8-11 overall, with a perfect 3-0 league record. One of their most intense games was their first round of CIF against La Habra, where they went into multiple overtimes and eventually came out on top with a win of 15-13. We are so proud of our team this year and the hard work they put in both on and off the pool deck. Arts. The Los Alamitos High School Performing Arts program delivered an outstanding production of The Addams Family, musical showcasing the talent, dedication, and creativity of our students. From sharp comedic timing to powerful vocals and polished choreography, every element reflected the countless hours the cast and crew invested in bringing this beloved story to life. The students built sets, detailed costumes, and professional level lighting and sound design elevated the production, creating a truly memorable experience. Beyond the performances, what stood out most was the teamwork and collaboration behind the scenes. Students supporting one another, stepping into leadership roles, and working together to achieve something greater than any individual contribution. The Addams Family was not just a performance. It was a celebration of the arts at La Salle and a reminder of the extraordinary opportunities our district provides for students to learn, grow, and shine. Community. On November 5th, our community hosted the second annual Pals of La Salle Youth Sports Day at Oak Middle School. The event brought together 18 students of all abilities for an inclusive and energetic afternoon featuring multiple sports stations, including football, track and field, soccer, and volleyball. This year, 9 ASB students, including myself, were able to attend, support the sports stations, and cheer on participants. We partnered with the Los Alamitos Police Department and the Orange County Fire Authority, whose presence made the day even more special. I had the opportunity to attend last year as well, and while that experience was meaningful, this year's event was truly the highlight of my month. Running around with the kids, encouraging them, and seeing their joy reminded me why events like this matter. We are incredibly grateful for our community partners who make opportunities like this possible, and I can't wait to see more students participate next year. Student Spotlight. To close out my report, I want to shine a spotlight on an exceptional Griffin, Tara West. Tara is a deeply involved on campus and truly represents the best of La Salle. She's a well-rounded leader. She's a part of Soundtracks, a head VMC, a swing for multiple choirs over the years, and a key leader for Extravaganza, our Los Al hosted choir competition. Academically, she challenges herself with a demanding course load, including Advanced Sports Med, AP Bio, AP Calc BC, AP Psych, and ASL 4 honors. What really stands out, though, is her internship with our athletic trainer, Tyler, through Sports Med. Tara attends games, supports injured athletes, and puts her training into action after completing both anatomy and sports med courses. Her kindness, leadership, and dedication make her an incredible role model for our Griffin community, and I am proud to feature her in this month's Student Spotlight. With that, I would like to open the floor to any questions or comments from the board.
Go ahead, Chris.
Bryn, I think it's great how you highlighted the Model United Nations. And what I think is even more special now is they reached out to the 2 middle schools. And on Tuesday and Thursday, one of their members works with the middle school kids who are going to be ready for the high school experience right away. So thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also really appreciate you highlighting the Red Ribbon Week. I think that's something we see so much at the elementary school and people are focused on. It's something I know we grew up with Red Ribbon Week. It's a memory that I have as a child, but to see it at the high school and having been on campus during that week, to see the activities, to see it coming to life, and to see students that are really probably the most prone to finding their way into these issues, having fun while also being educated and learning. It really was a great way to unite the students around a really key issue. So I appreciate you highlighted that. Also, just really fun that the high school students are engaged in it, because I think so many people think of Red Ribbon Week as this little kid, and it's cutesy, but these are the students that really need to be doing the most education. So thank you.
Well, I think you're going to get a lot of appreciation from us. So one of the things I planned on talking about in communication, but since you already highlighted it, was really, and I appreciated the way you highlighted the theater production and what was done with the Addams Family and all of the theater tech that went on behind it, and that everything is student run and student produced. And that to me is just phenomenal and great amount of opportunities for for your classmates and for our students. So I really appreciate you showcasing that as well.
Yes, I love everything you highlight every month. So thank you. Thank you for, bringing the student perspective to us. I really love hearing that you were part of the Pals of LaSalle and that this was your second year, because to me, this was the first time I had heard about it. And I think that it is something that I'd like to make sure we communicate more broadly and get more of our students, like you said, to participate and to make sure that that is something that is on our all of our radar, because it is such a huge testament to our community. So thank you.
Thanks, Bryn. You've done a phenomenal job. It's really incredible in the amount of time that you allot yourself, how you cover such a breadth of activities and such diversity of activities, which really showcases all the opportunities for our students. And I wish we could just send your reports to the middle school so they can get really excited about everything ahead of them. They're really excellent. Dr. Pulver? Thank you so much. And now we'll turn it over to our superintendent for his report.
Thank you, Madam President. I think I figured no sense, because I always can't help but to comment before I go into mine after our amazing student report. And I too really appreciated how you talked about our drama program, our production of Addams Family. I happened to attend the production, and it was incredible, beyond inspirational. When I got there and looked at the set, you would have thought it was a Disneyland set. And as Mrs. Hill was alluding, or really sharing, was that entire set is student made. And so just our theater tech program is just extremely talented. And that takes some of our classified employees too, Ty Peterson as well, who really supports that. So very, very impressive. The arts were alive as well. I think I went to the Gas Lab and saw our jazz program performing since the last board meeting as well. And you would think you're in New Orleans. Our jazz three levels just did a phenomenal job, and such a great way for our parents to come out and to see our kids be on a stage, and a professional stage was really an opportunity for them as well. And then the dance program last week was spectacular. The aerial shots, the thoughts, the way that our Mrs. Jones, Ricky Jones, creates the storyline, etc. It just, our kids their talent is endless. It really is spectacular and exciting. And so tonight I wanted to highlight a few things in my report. First, I wanted to just give a big thank you to the ongoing partnership and impact that having a district ed foundation can make on behalf of our students and this community. So LAIF has donated through a program of innovation grants over $150,000, really over $154,000 to all staff who they competed against these grants. And I'll just give you a quick highlight of what some of these grants are. And I probably just lost my notes for a second. But at our adult transition program, they did, now I'm going off of memory because I don't have them in front of me. Here it is. Raised beds. And so what I love is they touched every aspect of the district. So for raised bed gardens, because our ATP kids are going to learn how to garden, doing some of that. Really popular throughout many of our elementary schools were 3D printers. Many grade levels did things like that. Sensory light tables at some of our early grades, TKK, some UTK hands-on learning tools. I love, and we heard Mrs. Padilla talk about it at her LAE report about having some challenges with student behaviors. And so she came up with this concept to use conflict resolution through basketball. And so some of the students were having some challenges behaviorally, and they're really creating and piloting a program there that LAIF has funded as well. They're doing some enhanced playground materials, sandboxes, pretend play areas for STC, incubator for egg hatching, frog dissections at the middle school, Ozobots, engineering aspects and curriculum, VR headsets in social studies at the middle schools. VR headsets was also, I think I was seeing that at the high school. Listen to this, UV goggles sanitizer cabinets for the safety goggles that students wear every single day. And that was Mr. Mayu who wrote that, Maya rather. So just over $154,000 blooming abilities. So for our life skills class at the high school, our life skills students sell flowers that students and teachers can but it's creating them a business for them to be able to help support some of their other programs, and more VR headsets. And then even this one, I think our assistant principal at the high school in athletics trying to work, did a podcast and video production. So to be able to have some of our athletes be able to learn how to kind of market and take a look at that. So just all aspects of the 4 A's, all aspects throughout our campus. And I think that really is the power of a district-wide ed foundation. So thank you, Leif, for your ongoing generous support. And I didn't think it would do justice to just say the amount. I think sometimes it helps to hear what some of those innovative things are. And so congratulations are in order. I have a lot of congratulations of employees who we've recognized. I love that our human resources and our PIO department coordinate each month to celebrate our rock stars of the month. And so we have our September rock stars of the month was Chantal Gonzalez, who's an instructional aide in our special education SDC preschool, I believe. It might actually be UTKK at Weaver Elementary. And Chantal just goes above and beyond. It was so evident when we went to surprise her, the connection she has with students and the impact that she's making with students who really need additional support. She just does a phenomenal job. And then our district nurse, Jessica Catania, who is exceptional. And as you know, we had our lead nurse retire, and we did not refill as our enrollment has gone down a little bit. And so Jessica has just done an exceptional job at taking on and working throughout all of our school sites and providing amazing support. She is wants what she would want for her kids. And so she makes sure she has that parent lens as well to make sure that our students with health challenges, that they still have access and opportunities to the 4 A's throughout our campus. So she does a great work for us. And then just this month, and we always do it at the end of the month, so sometimes we feel like it's at the end of the month, Regina Brown, who's our attendance clerk, she was a classified employee of the year a few years ago, but she just continues to do an exceptional job at Oak Middle School, but it's really stepped up. We've had the office coordinator has been out on medical or on a leave of absence, and Regina has just filled in an exorbitant amount of extra duties to be able to help make sure Oak Middle School is seamless and runs flawlessly. So she did a great job there. And then Christine Morris, who's a school psychologist at Los Alamitos High School, but really she helps support a myriad of our interventions. One of the key players in how our 100% graduation rate over the past few years, when we achieved that for 2 years, because putting in systems in place to really target needs of individual students, starting the program of our student mentor program at Los Alamitos High School as well, which supports. So she just does, and as well as supporting a myriad of other areas. So just really proud to be able to recognize Christine Morris as our rock star of the month this last month. And then we had some state and some county recognitions that we have communicated in the past, but the state recognition was just this past 2 weeks ago up in San Francisco. So Angelina, who was just graduated, I believe, from Los Alamitos High School last year, was our Every Student Succeeding. And in order to get that achievement, it's students who have had unique challenges in life and they've overcome different odds. and have been successful. And usually the part of the success is really with a team of adults that also help. And that's what this recognition is by the California School Administrators Association. She represented all of Orange. She was our district access student, Every Student Succeeding. Then she was the Orange County representative for the Every Student Succeeding, and she was recognized in San Francisco over the November 6th and 7th, and got the state recognition as well. It's a wonderful recognition for her. And then we had our beloved Teacher of the Year, Miss Lori Avalos, who is teacher at McAuliffe Middle School, who got recognized as part of the Orange County Teachers of the Year ceremony. They hold it every year at the Disneyland Hotel. And so our board president and our assistant soup of HR, Dr. Weiswright, were there to be part of that celebration to recognize Lori. Unfortunately, I couldn't be there because we had so many employees being recognized that same day, that same night. We had Miss Caraviana, our assistant principal at Los Alamitos High School, who was receiving the state co-administrator of the year. And so I joined her along with Principal Christina Kraus up at San Francisco at the same event where Angelina, our student, was recognized. So statewide, they only choose one assistant principal at the high school level to be the administrator of the year, and no other than yours truly, Miss Caraviana. And so it was a pleasure to be able to be part of that recognition for her. And then lastly, before I thought I wanted to be able to share, our board meeting was in October, was right before Peace Week. Remember, we had to bifurcate Peace Week with some of our schools. But our Focus Studio students, our students at Los Alamitos High School, remember, the more that our commitment to career technical education is always about trying to find hands-on opportunities and real-world experiences for students to take these skills with them. And so for our Focus Studios and our film pathway, our students created a multitude of videos. In fact, we're already planning to maybe utilize them for our holiday video, but you will see that hopefully in December before winter break. But they came together and collaborated and worked with our schools to really talk about what is Peace Week. And it's really this week that we attribute to really trying to get our students and our community to acknowledge and recognize about people exhibiting acceptance and compassion for everyone. So I'm going to highlight the video that this is the first debut. After tonight, we'll be able to publish it on YouTube, but they were just putting the final touches on it in class today. I think they have class at 11 something, and they were making the final. So nothing like a deadline. They knew I wanted to share it tonight at the board meeting. So without further ado, here is the debut of Focus Studios Peace Week video.
Peace stands for people exhibiting appreciation and compassion for everyone. It's more than a word. It's a way of being. Recognizing each individual, valuing differences, extending kindness, and fostering understanding. During this week, we bring focus to how we treat one another, to raise awareness of the everyday power of appreciation and compassion, to build habits of kindness, and to strengthen the bonds of our community. It's a chance for everyone, students, teachers, staff, to pause, reflect, learn, and act with intention.
Peace means to me being calm, being kind to others,
working together, creating like an environment that helps others.
If somebody's being mean to somebody, to like stand up for them, and if somebody's being mean to you, to stand up for yourself.
Including people in certain things that you wouldn't necessarily do, or showing compassion towards others who may have it more difficult than you.
You can show peace at school every single day by telling them hello.
Beginning with a hello matters. It's a small gesture, yet it opens doors, initiates connection, breaks through distance, and sets a foundation for mutual respect. Hello is a simple spark that can be led to trust, to listening, to empathy.
My favorite thing from Peace Week was when we did our Peace Week pledge and we got to spin the wheel. We got to see so many kids excited to participate during Peace Week.
My favorite activity is probably the kickball event. It brings together the teachers and other students that work together as a team.
One thing that always stands out to me during Peace Week is just watching our 5th grade leaders, our ambassadors, really take the leadership role and lead the week. They set the tone for the week. They pick the spirit days. They're the kids who greet all the rest of the campus as they walk in, and it's pretty incredible.
Now that I think about it, there's a kid who was a new student last year who I know was greeted with enthusiasm as he started here as a new student, and now he's an ambassador second year, and you can see him just reflecting it right back at the community that welcomed him first.
Some things that I've learned are kindness can be little and big. Like you can help out just a friend or a teacher and it can make their day.
You can help people through so many different things, especially during hard times.
I hope that students experience in their safe bubble of school the fun activities and all the little programs that we have going on during Peace Week, and then that instills in them the confidence to bring that outside of the classroom and into their families and their sports and other parts of their community.
I'm hoping that by the end of their time here, it's a learned behavior so that when they're out on their own, they're the one extending the branch and starting with hello.
Here at Los Alamitos Unified School District, we commit to making our district a place where appreciation and compassion are lived, not just spoken. Where everyone is seen and heard, where kindness is a habit, where our actions reflect the peace we want to be.
We're going to keep the credits. We got to give them credit. So just a big thank you to our Focus Studio students who always find creative ways and really go out. As you know, they also helped us with the For Good video that we've shared out with families as well. So just want to say thank you to them, and we look forward to being able to sharing that with all families later this week. And then lastly, I just wanted to, as we are wrapping up the school week before many people are getting ready to leave for perhaps hopefully some safe travels, just want to wish our family, our staff, and this amazing community a very happy Thanksgiving. We have so much to be grateful for. I'm very blessed to be in this community, being part of a place that adults continue to find ways to just ensure that all of our students and our youth thrive. So to all of you, we wish you a well-deserved time to rest, to be with your family, and to recharge and enjoy a wonderful Thanksgiving.
Thank you, Dr. Pulver. That was wonderful. I love Peace Week. Love Peace Week. So now we're moving on to board member comments. And Mrs. Partizani, would you like to begin?
Sure. Thank you. Well, good evening. This month, my focus was really on innovation, career readiness, and staying accessible to our students and staff. A major priority for our district, as you know, is building a responsible roadmap for how AI will support teaching and learning. I've met with and helped connect some AI experts with our executive cabinet, and I'm just really excited to see where that goes and how that's going to help prepare both our staff and our students for the future. I also attended the Skilled Trades Fair, which was put on by our College and Career Center. And that's where students came together to explore different pathways. There were organizations ranging from carpentry to fire science to even drone piloting, which I found really interesting. And it was a great reminder that success comes in many forms, and it goes beyond the traditional four-year college path. I really enjoyed that. And finally, board accessibility is really important to me. Whether it's I do walkthroughs, attend performances or athletic events, I really value hearing from our students and our staff. It's those conversations that really make me a better representative for you to our community. So I just wanted to put it out there that, don't hesitate to reach out to me to come out. When you see me at the different events, I do have 3 kiddos, and I happen to be at a lot of different places. So please keep those comments and conversations going. And with that, I will turn it back to you.
Mrs. Hill?
Thank you so much. Just a couple of things. I also went to the trade fair, and one of the things that I just so appreciative of staff that put it on and just really gave opportunities for our students. And I love that they come through in classes, so they don't, they're there at lunch as well, but they come through and they actually bring their classes through. And the engagement that I saw with so many of them talking to things they may not have ever thought of doing before. But I was also just really intrigued that just there was one gentleman, and I heard him over talking, and he was from Cypress College, and he was talking to some students, and I believe it was electrician. And he was talking about how it's also a way to be able to create a trade and a job for yourself, but you can also get college credits, and that you can really have a job that can be more flexible if you wanted to go higher into college, and just giving all of the different resources and thought processes to our students. So I thought that was really well done, and I just was so appreciative of the staff at the high school for that great work that they did. I also was able to attend a couple of our LaSalle football games, and really what I came away with, I saw a loss at San Clemente, and then I saw a win in the rain at Vets Stadium, was how the resiliency of them and them never giving up. And I think that program, you know, we say, oh yes, we talk about football, but football, I believe all of our athletics activities and our arts are so much more than just that particular activity. It's not just about football, it's about the lessons that are learned through each and every one of them. And I believe the coaching staff does just a great job of being very positive and really showing our students that they have more resiliency than they realize. And then I just wanted to end, I had, it was about a month and a half ago, but we haven't had communication. I had the opportunity to attend a celebration of life from Melinda Breedlove. And I knew her because our sons played baseball together. But at her, I also knew that she had worked in the district. But when I was there and listening to people share, and I heard her brother talk about how she would get up at 4:30 in the morning, take care of her family, feed her family, and then go to feed the students of our district, and how much that meant to her, and how important, what an important part of her life that was. It was just really, I really wanted to make sure that we honored that and honored her and let her family know that we know that they, it's painful, but that she will always have, had touched so many students they will never know of, and that I want them to know that we acknowledge that. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Forehand?
Yes, my most of mine today is quickly on shout outs. Peace Week, it was unbelievable, that production, thank you. But it's shout outs to our support groups, the PTAs at Rossmore provide million-word reader medals that they get to kids who read a certain number of words. The PTA at Oak for Lion Pride, where they recognize excellent students. The Kindness Club at LAHS did Halloween crafts for the life skills kids. Red Ribbon Week, Matt already spoke to it. It's great to see the high school involved. Veterans Day throughout our district was celebrated at every school site. And then the booster clubs, and Dr. Pulver's right. The drama and the dance and music and choir, they wouldn't do, I think, as much without the booster parents providing such great support. And then equally are the sports boosters clubs, because they too support the kids all year long. And I was really impressed with our district PTA as another support group. Dr. Pulver spoke so eloquently, this keeping them up to date, but it was their questions and their discussion that they are a very competent, wonderful group of ladies who are thinking about the best for kids. I want to shout out Jen Letourneau at McAuliffe. She has a link crew at the middle school level, and similar to what the link crew does at the high school, but she had the kids and the link crew provide lunch for all the new sixth graders at McAuliffe, making that connection that's so important. And then just a celebration today. I walked in to read at LAE, and the teachers were doing, I think Jenny called it a underground celebration of 6-7, because today is the 67th day of school. So immediately I had to figure out, okay, I got masking tape taped on 6-7 to my shirt so I could go in and be part of the celebration. But it's those activities that make school fun. It's great.
Mr. Bragman?
If we got through a board meeting without saying 6-7 at some point, that would have been disappointing. I know I'm going to talk about some things that we've already talked about, but I appreciate how board members sometimes focus on a certain thing, whether it's one of our core values or things in our mission statement. I want to focus on the arts today. And so over the past month, I've had the privilege of seeing the arts really come to life. It's one of our 4 A's in the district. It's in our logo. It's so important. And to see the incredible creativity, talent, and collaboration that's happening really across all grade levels. So I know we've talked about the Addams Family a ton. It was amazing. It was truly astounding. I didn't know what I was walking into. The singing, the acting, the set, everything about it was just phenomenal. And I love that we talked about the theater tech piece, because I'm sitting there with my daughter. We had a really fun daddy-daughter day at the Addams Family. And I said, like, do you realize that everything here was built by students? Like, art is in so many different forms, and so many of our students only think the stage is the star. The people that are up there that are singing are the star, but it's the people that built the tree, the people that built this 2-story set. I mean, it was unbelievable, a truly unbelievable set. And so just to call the attention that it was an unbelievable event. To have it around Halloween was great. It was just fun. It was great. So that was one of the first things I got to see in this long month since we had a board meeting. I know we talked about the dance production, The Blind Tiger. If people didn't go this weekend, you were transported to the Plymouth Club in the 1920s. It was a murder mystery. It was acting. It was singing. It was dancing. We had jazz band open up with a choir singer doing a solo. It was another place where you saw all of the arts at our high school come together. And so it was phenomenal. Again, the set design with this 2-story scaffold and fluorescent lights. The costumes were mind-blowing. And then the second act, I think maybe the third or fourth song, middle school dance. The middle school dance program is just unbelievable to see middle schoolers from Oak and McAuliffe come together to dance. You saw students from 6th to 8th grade doing this really cool medley of songs that we could sing along to. We had Jump Around and other songs with the kind of frog-themed performance in the middle of the 1920s. It was just really unbelievable to see. So those were 2 amazing things that happened in the pack. Going back to football, actually, over the past month or so, and really throughout the entire year, football has brought together the arts. You see the marching band, you see the color guard, you see the song and cheer. And so it was an unbelievable opportunity to go and see them and really see it all come together at the St. Jude fundraiser that we have every year. If you were at Artesia High School for the game against Mission Viejo, it was a huge game because it was against one of the top teams in the country, but it was also a huge game because we raised, I don't know how much money for St. Jude, and we saw the middle school band perform with our high school band. We saw the kindergarten through 8th graders cheering along with our high school song and cheer band, who are now representing the USA in world competitions. It really has been an amazing month and start to this school year when it comes to our arts. It's been fun. I only got to see one of our middle school choir performances, but McAuliffe's choir performance, big time Broadway show. I'm looking at Miss Reed because I now know Miss Reed is a Broadway fanatic. It was unbelievable to see these Broadway acts from Mamma Mia and Hamilton. There were solos. Seussical. It was just really cool. I know Oak, I think Mr. Forehand was able to go to Oaks, was equally good from the clips I saw. So the arts are truly alive. Even things like Griffin News at the high school, another form of the arts. It's just really, really, it's electric. So I think a lot of times people think about some of these A's kind of are bigger than one another, and truly it's a balance in this district, and it makes us really proud. I'm going to go off cue here for a second, just unrelated to school business. But I'm up here and I know I've got a silly mustache, and some people are asking why I have a mustache. Every year I participate in a fundraiser called Movember, and it's Mental Health Awareness Month, and it's around raising awareness around men's mental health, preventing suicide, testicular cancer, prostate cancer, raising awareness for how people can be safer and raise awareness around how to change the face of men's health. So that's why I do this. It's important. So if you know a man or woman, check and see how they're doing, like ask. And we know that this is an important time. I know someone close to us just had a suicide in their family. And so we want to make sure that we're taking care of each other. So the mustache is a conversation starter is the idea. That's why I do it. And I hope other people will participate, or just make sure to check on people, check on your friends, check on your family. And when it comes to the actual physical health for men, there are certain things we can do to make sure we're living longer lives for our kids and our families. So that's the reason for the silly mustache. Not related, but it is related because we want to make sure we have good, healthy people around our schools and our district. So with that, Ms. Davidson.
Thank you, Matt. The one part about, well, might be more than one part about surrendering the presidency next month is that I won't go last on the public on our comments because everything is said, except I do have a couple of things that will take a little bit of time. First of all, I want to say today we at Rotary, Dr. Pulver and I were at the Rotary meeting, and the Internet Club Student of the Month for LaSalle was Noelle Rosen, and she's a part of the EMT ROP program at the high school. And I just cannot begin to articulate how well-spoken she was to the club about what she's gained through the program, how she was a quiet kind of reclusive person before, and how it's brought out leadership qualities, confidence, and she plans to go into nursing next year. So the ROP programs are alive and well in our schools. We also had 4 of our star football players speak. Coach Fenton came and he deferred to the students to speak, and it was really evident why. These 4 young men were incredibly bright and respectful. They talked about the leadership that they had learned, how they were a family. He talked about how someone asked, what happens when you mess up on the field? And one of the players said that Coach Fenton always taught them, you know, you ask forgiveness, and now you ask forgiveness, you say you're sorry, and then you figure out how you can make things better. And I thought, what a great lesson in life, because we do all have our regrets, but to not just get forgiveness, but to be encouraged to go on then and do what you do and make it better was really powerful. I'm so proud to be a part of Los Al's and listening to the kids. And Bren, you're right there with them, with your ability to lead and to speak. It's really wonderful. I'm on the ROP Board of Trustees, and at the last meeting, Russell Harrison, who is our North Norcross representative for about 4 campuses, he did a presentation on each ROP program from the campus. And when he got to mine, it was a PowerPoint. When he got to LaSalle, he looked at me and said, Los Alamitos, it was disastrous. And I thought, I don't know anything about it. Nobody told me it should have been in Week in Review. But it turned out what he was talking about was that our ROP program, the EMTs and those in fire science, participated in the Great Shakeout by triaging. And it was phenomenal, the pictures they showed of the kids taking these people who were mocking injury and triaging them in terms of seriousness, determining where they were going to go, treating them with the equipment that ROP has helped to provide for us. And once again, it was a really proud moment for me to be sitting there seeing the results of a program and the impact on students' lives. And every single one of them, including Camden, is the football player, Camden spoke today, and he's going to Boise State to play football, but he's been Beckham, and he's going to Boise State, and he has been a part of the fire science program. He's going to go through college, and then it's his intention to come back and be a firefighter in our community. So these programs make a huge difference, and we should be very proud of what's going on. I also want to acknowledge Ed Services and Matt, because Matt brought the Carpenters Union to the attention of Ed Services. They would like to work with us in perhaps an ROP or a CTE pathway. While we're not in a position to really do a whole carpentry pathway, but Ed Services, just brilliant what you did to work with them. They're providing curriculum and opportunities for our students to work and learn more about carpentry, and it will be part of the technical theater pathway in the stage building. And then the gentleman who was who I spoke with said that they will also be allowed in the summer have opportunities for internships. They will show their skills before employers and maybe even get job opportunities. So there's a lot happening out there for our CTE program, and I'm really excited about the business pathway that will start up next year. This part is just another thank you I have. For the last 5 or 6 years of my career as an educator in this district, before joining the board, I focused on my position as a facilitator for professional development as well as curriculum development. This position gave me keen insights into the innovative inner workings of our district when it came to creation and support for opportunities to build and enhance instructional practices. And I don't think anybody rivals what is accomplished here. As a board member, I see that same mixture of professionalism and heart every single day. After the successful implementation of a strong mental health support system a couple of years ago, the board sought to return to a focus that prioritized academic needs. The reason I'm bringing this up is because I want to acknowledge and thank Mrs. Reed, her team, site administrators, and especially our teachers for the incredible work they are doing today to enhance academic instruction and growth. Many times, and at the PTA meeting yesterday, one of the members asked, what are we doing to support the needs that have emerged from the results of test scores? That's what's happening, and that's what they've been doing, and I'm so proud. We see evidence of this work in classrooms across the district, in small group instruction, use of intervention teachers, carefully selected instructional programs and curriculum, after school and summer programs, and much more. Tonight, though, I want to honor one particular action that exemplifies the dedication, commitment, and tireless determination of our leadership and staff. That is the willingness of everyone from the district office to the classroom, to sports fields, to every corner of our district to pivot. When preliminary CASP results came out in June, it was decided that focus would continue to be more effective approach to, that focus would continue to be the more effective approach to addressing a decline in of scores. Drilling down often means identifying students who need additional support, then developing and implementing that support system across the district. However, when final scores were recently released, a different picture emerged. For instance, our math scores indicated that the need for a more effective approach than separate intervention model for specific students was needed. We must seek to strengthen content delivery, lesson design, and instructional clarity for all students in every classroom. The goal truly became proof of math proficiency was necessary for every student. Andrea and her team did what I've seen them do time and time again. They pivoted to address the true need. I doubt that any of us relish stopping what's already in the works. However, that's exactly what Mrs. Reed and her team chose to do. Evidence of what the pivot has meant in a short amount of time includes acknowledging a desire to determine best practices. That's led her to partner with Orange County Department of Education and explore participation in the Engaging All Students in Productive Math Struggle County cohort. In addition, she's reaching out to other districts who have demonstrated measurable growth. All the while, she and her team continue to dialogue with teachers to develop a pathway to best instructional practices in our classrooms that will impact every one of our students. Pivoting takes energy, curiosity, humility, creativity, and passion for doing what truly will make a difference. These examples of having the foresight to pivot in order to address academic needs are evidence why I know that we are on a powerful path to bring all our students to proficient and advanced standings in core academic areas. I've seen it for years, and I see it now. For that, I'm deeply grateful. Thank you. And that is it for our board reports. And we're moving on now to public comment. Do we have any cards? No? So we will move on to Information and presentation. Mrs. Reed, would you like to do presentation of a textbook?
Thank you so much, President Davidson. Tonight, we're bringing forward College Algebra and Trigonometry, Pearson Publishing 7th edition, which is going to be going on preview in Education Services until the next board meeting, which will be replacing our current textbook inside our Algebra 2 trigonometry classes.
Thank you. And the joke is I won't be asking for one of those books to preview. Yeah. And now presentation of supplemental materials.
Thank you so much, President Davidson. Coming forward tonight is a compilation of 6 supplemental materials that will be used to support a history social science class at Los Alamitos High School entitled History of the Future. These 6 supplemental materials will also be on public preview in Education Services through the next school board meeting.
Thank you. And now we have a presentation from you on dashboard local indicators.
Thank you so much, President Davidson. I'm actually going to be welcoming our Director of Education Services, Mrs. Melissa Davis, to the podium. As you know, Melissa spearheads our LCAP, which is a very lengthy document. It's very time consuming. I'm very fortunate that she digs in every year and updates this 3-year document. And part of that relates to our dashboard and indicators that have to be updated in compliance. And so she does have a compliance piece to present to the board this evening.
Good evening, President Davidson, Cabinet, Board of Education and Community. Tonight, I'm going to be presenting just a couple of slides to you on the teaching assignment monitoring outcomes, which is called TAMO, is how we refer to it. So the teaching assignment monitoring outcomes are officially released annually, but reflect data that's almost 2 years old at the time of release. So districts are required to share with the board and include the district's local indicators data once it's released. So what that means is every June, in alignment with the LCAP, you guys approve the local indicators for us. The TAMO data is in the local indicators under priority 1, and we report data that we have at the time. So our best estimate of what we think the data is going to be. We then submit data to CalPads, and the following summer, you get the actual data. So tonight, what I'm doing is presenting to you the data that has been released to us. And as Mrs. Reed said, this really is a reporting piece to be compliant to make sure that we've met that priority 1 requirement, which then gets reported on the dashboard. And so here you'll see that the 23-24 data, it's kind of hard to see, it's small, I apologize, but it is our district data that was released in July for the 23-24 school year. You can see there that they just report the total teaching full-time employees, clear meaning everyone has all the requirements. Based off of memory, I'm going to do my best. The out of field, I believe, is our limited term assignment permits that we have. Interns, anyone that's on an intern, I apologize. Ineffective is our provisional interns. Our incomplete is just information when it gets uploaded to CalPads. Sometimes there's pieces that are off. It's not uncommon. Unknown is just any insufficient information, which for us was 0%. And then NA is just going to be anything that's not required to be reported, but there's no authorization. So that's just basically it's reporting on our teaching assignment piece. Are there any questions? Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for the great work you're doing. Yay. Thank you. Okay. Mrs. Partizani has a question?
For Andrea.
Oh, for Andrea. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Melissa. Appreciate the work. I just wanted to go back to the presentation of the supplemental materials. And so you said it's for a particular, there's about 6 or 7 items, and it's for one class.
Yes.
And the class is the history
of the future.
Of the future. And so I went through those supplemental materials, and I want to commend this teacher because the variety and the caliber of the supplemental educational materials that she's pulled and curated for her class are things that I'd loved. I mean, this has now been added to my reading list. So I was just really impressed that one teacher has gone through and kind of vetted these materials. I mean, there are things around artificial intelligence, the social dilemma, which talks about the impacts of, social media. So anyway, I'm not going to bore you with that, but for those people who are interested, I mean, it is a really excellent list. And so thank you to the teacher.
We'll give a big thank you to Mrs. Bigley.
Yes, thank you to her. And this class sounds wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you. That was great. So moving on to consent items, we can do 10A through AR and approve them together. Do I have a motion for approval?
I move to approve 10A through AR.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Motion carries 5-0. Okay, and we are flipping through pages here and moving to the action items. Okay, so we have 18 board policies to approve for first reading. We can also entertain a different motion. I have 2 pulls. So we have 11A through L, N, and P through R that we can approve in one motion. Do we also want to approve them and not go to second reading?
And not go to a second reading. But I think also, we'll discuss after we make that motion.
Okay.
So I'll make a motion to approve 11A
Through
through L,
and
N,
and P, and
and-
P through
Look,
R.
you can figure it out.
there's a missing letter, the P through Q,
P
P through
R.
Y,
R. It's a
P
funny
through
R.
R. Oh, there it is. I'm sorry. With a waiving of the second reading.
Is there any discussion?
Yes.
Mrs. Hill?
Yes.
Oh, okay. sorry.
Go ahead.
Okay, well, what is the benefit of omitting the second reading?
Do you want me to answer why?
Just,
But my reason,
why are we suggesting that?
I think when looking at these motions or these agenda items, there's nothing that's going to change them from now till the second reading. So I think there are some that I know that we pulled for some discussion, but if these are just going to stay and we can put them in action and not have them on another agenda, it expedites their getting approved.
And so my thought process is that if we didn't have questions or concerns about changing anything within the policy and the language, that we should forego the second reading because there's 18 that came forward and we've pulled 2, so we're going to have more discussion on those. There's no reason to have a second reading. Typically, we have a second reading when we discuss that policy and want changes or want further information from staff related to those.
But if in the event that the community needs more time to review and they have questions, how does that work? Because I don't understand that. Is the 1 month for us or is it for
It's
the
for
community?
us. My understanding is always that it's for us. So I think an example would be going back to when we passed our immigration policy last spring, that we passed a first reading, then gathered feedback because we had our own questions on what the language was, were there tweaks that we wanted to make because we actually were asking for changes. When looking at these policies, I didn't see anything that, at least personally, in making the motion, I didn't see anything that I would propose any sort of change. That I would expect any feedback from community. Community did have the opportunity to see the board agenda, and if they had questions or comments on them now, they could have come. And if they wanted to come before the second meeting, I guess they could if we did that. But that would be my reason for the motion.
But we can also we can pull other ones for if there's other ones that.
Well, and I also believe that these are standard. And we've taken, these are policies that we've been given either law changes from or ed code changes or have come down with. It's not necessarily what I would consider us choosing to create a new policy and wanting and asking. These are policies that have been in effect in our district for a long period of time. They're just changes because they are, most of them, and maybe Dr. Pulver can respond even better to that, mostly because of either a law change, ed code change, or language change that CSBA recommends that we update.
It's no longer
every single one of the
applicable.
policies that are on tonight, and even the past few that we've done the last few meetings, are part of one of the benefits that you belong to CSBA is you pay for an additional benefit to have them to use their board policies, and then you get to make decisions on whether to adopt their language, make changes to the language based upon our own community. Maybe they have a policy on something that we don't want to have a policy on, or things of that sort. But all of these are not policies that we have initiated because of a change. If you think about a few years ago when we took a look at our homework policy, our grading policy, where we went through a thoughtful, I don't know if that was a 6-month, year-long process to collaborate and get, because we wanted to make we had our own vision to make changes to those policies. Then we've gone through a different process. But all of these are from CSBA. They provide a quarterly update to districts who subscribe to them, and it's basically reflective of law changes or recent court legislation changes as well. And so much of any board policy is really just almost sometimes read you the law, which in some ways, why do I need the policy if the laws also were compelled to follow the law? But it seems that school districts do. So yes, every single one of these here, I can say, are ones that were on the CSBA quarterly update. We just got a new one with 18 more board policies that we have not sent out to cabinet yet because we wanted to get the ones from the summer processed first. And so that's really the reasons for that they're presented. But the process for a first and a second reading is really at the desire of the board.
And we've done this several other meetings, haven't we? Yes.
Bundled them.
2 or 3 meetings ago, because we've had so many of these updated policies, we started waiving that second reading if we didn't come with any.
Yes, it was something I had shared with the board as an option. You know, one of the things we talk about is we learn from other districts. It was something observed that other school boards have done is they will waive their second reading if they felt that it was repetition or really just changes in the law, et cetera, and didn't have comment on. And so I had shared with all of you, I think here from the dais, that could be an option if you wanted to consider. But I think it's unique to each board.
I've had questions before, but then in talking with Dr. Pulver, realizing that my questions were based a lot on the laws that are written into this. I have a question about the law. Well, it can't make any changes about that part. I have to accept it. And if I really want anything changed in terms of the law that CSBA is basing the policy on, I have to go to Sacramento. So, and that's frustrating. That can be frustrating.
I do think it's also good because I think it's always good. And Ms. Partison, you're really good about sharing, even with the community, like what our procedures look like. Also, for the community to understand that the board agenda is public at least 72 hours in advance. We also get it at the same time, and then we have an opportunity to ask questions to Dr. Pulver, who shares them with executive cabinet. And so that when we have questions, just so that the community knows, when we have questions in advance, many of them are answered in advance of this or can come to these meetings so that we can have them address. And so that allows us to have the insight into these readings or to have those questions answered while we're sitting here at the dais.
And the difference, what I would just share, so as I shared earlier, the grading policy, the homework policy, another policy that we're working on and we'll be spending multiple months on is on an AI policy. And really some of the other aspects that, CSBA even recommends not having an omnibus AI policy, that there's going to be tentacles of AI in many different aspects. And so we're forming AI committees that will be working with teachers at the elementary level, at the secondary level. And so one of the byproducts of that committee work will be informing and producing an AI policy, but that will be more because we're inducing that, we're generating that. And so we'll have more time as opposed to, and we do get sample policies from CSBA on that, don't get me wrong, but that's one that we would want to take much more time and thought because it's not necessarily law, it's really trying to guide our practice and our guidelines and things of that sort. So many policies are legal and law changes and court changes, and others maybe they're really things that we want to be really thoughtful about and spend more time on.
And to me, I look at it as the difference between, and I know this is an action item, but to me, it's more like a consent item because it really isn't something that we've had. They have been in effect for a very long time in this district, and we're just making those revisions to it. And if we don't have issues with those revisions, then why would that be something we felt like we had to come back for a second time?
So for the items that we do have question on or are seeking further clarification, we pull those items like I did, and then we will come back to them next time.
Correct.
Okay, that sounds good.
So
I still had
a
comment. So I did want to say that I just really do appreciate that in all of that discussion, there were two things that really in these policies to me was very clear, is that one, I do really appreciate that we are mindful and to the best of our ability within the law and what we can do, match to our community. And I think that's really important. And I think that that is the work of staff. And I think staff has a very good handle on what this community is looking for. And then the other thing is that you'll see in several of these policies, and it has been a practice in LaSalle for a long time, and it's been in many of our policies for a long time, but it's just something I feel strongly that I want to point out, is that that we have opportunities for parents to make sure that they know that if there is something that they want their child to be opted out of, they have that right and ability to be able to do that. And I am a really strong proponent of that, because I believe that a parent is the one that has that jurisdiction over their students. I believe we have amazing professionals and teachers that are doing phenomenal work in this district, but I also believe that every family's values are different, and that that's something that needs to be respected. So I really appreciate all of the work that went into making some of these changes that are very routine, but I am appreciative and know there's a lot of work that goes involved in that.
Thank you. And thank you for the summaries that you provided for us on them too. So any further discussion?
Just, I'd like to get clarity for our minutes. Which policies are you lumping together right now? And
Can we do the ones that were not? The two that were taken out?
I can read the letters again if you want.
sure, but I believe that we had recorded there were 3 polls, and I'm only hearing 2 polls.
So
I
it's-
believe at one point we wanted
polls. We have 11.
M, O, and R to be pulled. I don't know if that still
No.
is
Oh,
accurate or
R.
not.
We
Up
do
until
have
so that's what I was trying. So it's letters A through L, N like Nancy,
No, you're right. There is a poll
and
on
then
R.
P and Q.
So, okay, so through Q.
That now
Thank
we got
you.
them.
So 11A through L and P through Q, and my staple was right over
That's
the
why.
poll
That
on
was why I
R.
was. That's why I was struggling
Yeah.
the first time because of the letter.
Yeah.
But that's exactly right the way we have it. So those 3 are the polls. So the polls are. And I know this isn't for the record, but the polls that we're ignoring are M, O, and R, and we'll come back to those.
And then I want to clarify that the current motion is to approve those policies and waive the second reading is what I believe is on the table.
That's
Yes.
the motion I
That's
made.
discussion.
Correct.
And it was seconded by Mr. Forehand.
Any further
Just for
discussion?
our minutes purposes
Yeah.
is why I
No,
stopped.
that was good clarity because R was not included, so.
Yeah.
Okay, so is there any further discussion? No? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion carries 5-0. And now we will go to M, 11M, our first poll, and that was pulled by Mrs. Partizani. Would you like to speak to that?
Sure, and this is goes along with what Dr. Pulver just explained, in that we are. This is a policy regarding, just to set the stage for you, is policy number 5131, and it's around.
We need
Yeah,
a motion.
I'm sorry, you need to make a motion about what you want to do.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion about pulling item number.
It's been approved. It's been pulled.
Approving it,
Approving.
and then
that.
it'll be
And then we
the
can
first
discuss.
reading.
Okay, so I'd like to approve item number M, and.
And there's a second. I'll second.
And it'll keep it as a first reading, so we'll come back to it.
Great.
Yeah, and now we can discuss it.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
Sorry, was your motion to approve item N for a first reading?
Yes, for a first reading.
And item N is the approval of first reading of revised board policy 5131 conduct.
Yes.
And then we have a
Thank you.
second by Mrs. Hill.
I second it.
All
Correct.
right.
Now we can have discussion.
Okay, so as I was reviewing this policy, it is around conduct for students. And there is an item in there around plagiarism. And in the to sort of continue on what Dr. Pulver was just talking about, in that we are in the process of devising a policy around AI and the use of AI for our students. And I just wanted to kind of keep this on our radar because the definition of plagiarism may change based on the work that we're doing. So I thought that at this moment, since we don't have that policy/roadmap that we're in the process of creating around the use of AI, we can go ahead and approve this, but knowing that we will have to come back to it and update it.
So then I think we need, so are we approving it for the first reading and waiving the second, or just approving it for the first reading and bringing it back next time?
I thought we were bringing it back.
Bringing it back.
Bringing it back next meeting.
Yes. At a future time. Does it have to be the next meeting?
Yes, there is.
Or does
It does not have to be. There's none of the changes that the board in the first reading would take effect until a formalized second reading. So
Yes.
you could, in theory, I believe, I'll get legal clarification, but everything I understand is you could, in theory, not bring the second reading back until March and maybe you'd make some changes.
Yes.
Then at that point, you might choose, if you made that many substantial changes, maybe you'd want to have an additional reading. You know what I mean? We're saying we're going to
Then
bring
we
it
would bring
right
it
back
back
as a
maybe
first
for
reading.
another first reading.
Yeah. And there will be policies, as CSBA has talked about with AI. Part of the reason they recommend not having just an omnibus single AI policy is that it's going to affect academic honesty. It's going to affect make-up homework. It's going to have its tentacles in attendance, perhaps, all sorts of different avenues. And CSBA does have AI task force as well, who has been working on that to then also then work on some of their policies as well. It's possible that they may have already still working on that update too with AI. So we'll continue to monitor it.
I can't imagine a policy. It's so ever evolving. It'll be constant. We'll be constantly revisiting it.
And just as you know, any board policy can be constant. As you saw,
Yeah.
one of the board members earlier asked, why are we bringing the immigration one again? We just approved that a few months ago, and we did bring it forward because there was a correction. The legislature passed a bill, and if there was, ICE was to come onto a campus, we have to include and notify families, and it has to be embedded within our safety plan. That was a new law that was passed in June. So there could be times where something that was just passed a few months ago would still be revised and updated.
Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say no. The motion carries 5-0. And now we go to 11-0. And Mrs. Partizani?
Okay.
You need to make a motion.
Yes. I would like to make a motion to approve the first reading of the revised board policy 5141.5 around mental health.
I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, or this is one that we might be considering moving to table.
Yes.
To table, not to approve.
Not to approve.
Yes. So, pardon, I will revise that. So I would like to make a motion to move board policy 5141.5 around mental health to be put on the table for now.
I will second tabling that item.
Any discussion?
Do you want to say?
I think the main reason, and as you guys get the board agenda on Friday, you can submit questions to staff before so that we can give you the information you need to make a thoughtful decision on any of the items that are in front of you. And there were a lot of questions from the board that wants staff to seek a little bit more clarification on some of the wording and the language. And so I think my recommendation to all of you, because you guys can't have one-on-one conversations prior to the board meeting, was to maybe we table it and we will work on the answers, the questions, and retake a look at this policy and maybe bring it back at a later time.
Further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. The motion carries 5-0. And now we're turning to the elusive 11R.
Well, I will make a motion to approve item R, which is board policy 6158 for a first reading.
I'll second.
And
Mrs. Partizani, did you want to comment on that one, or?
I just had a question around independent study. I think that I had posed a question to Dr. Pulver. There's some information that I learned that another district has put in play a policy to retroactively be able to collect ADA for a short-term independent study. And I thought it's really interesting, and maybe we want to look into that. So that's where I'm at.
So it give us more time. So,
More time.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, and thank you. The question came about, and so did ask our Director of Student Services. She did reach back out and said she's looked everything that we're aware of. You can't retroactive. It still has to be either even 1 day prior. But we will consult with that school district to see if they found a creative solution that maybe we should. I will say, it will probably have a blessing and a curse. It could help us with attendance, but I think it could push some of our staff over the edge because already our staff feel inundated with the amount and the volume of independent study requests. So we would want to find a thoughtful way to balance the needs of securing funding without putting more on the plates of our staff. But I do think either way, we should at least check in with that school district to see how do they get creative with that?
Yes.
So Mrs. Garcia will continue to research that. So thank you for that, because I missed the key word that was retroactive.
And I appreciate that. I will say I requested an independent study recently for my daughter. We're board members or parents too sometimes, but I requested it too late, and so it was denied. But we had actually already requested all the work and gotten work from teachers. So in every way possible, it should have been an independent study, but I screwed up and didn't do the form on time. That's my fault. But I would have loved to be able to do that both for our daughter's attendance, because she was doing all the work while she was gone, and for the district for ADA. So I think that I love that we're asking that. I don't want to inundate our teachers. I don't want to cause more work, but it was a situation where my own screw up lost my daughter attendance days. So great.
And as you just alluded, many of our staff probably still provided you work. And so in
all
some
the work
ways
was there.
that the work was provided and yet we're not receiving the funding. I think that's what Mrs. Partisani is trying to get to, not necessarily put more work on staff, but on these opportunities where there are these occasions, which our staff go above and beyond in so many ways, that if there's a way that we could benefit from it, we'll research it from that, see if that school district is, or if they just wrote it and they really don't have any teeth behind it, because it's highly audited. So we'll check both from that school district and check with our auditors as well.
And that's part of the reason I want to say, because I appreciate, it's a compliment really to our staff to say, you didn't follow the timeline, it has to be requested at a certain time, it's denied. And I appreciate that I wasn't actually really, I should have read the policy before I asked, but I asked and I was told no. So I appreciate that they were sticking to the rules.
Thank you.
Did we vote yet? No.
Yeah, we haven't voted on that one.
Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Motion carries 5-0. And now we're moving on to adoptions. The first adoption is for Resolution 2025-2026 on board compensation for missed meeting. If a board member misses a meeting, we don't get paid unless there's a resolution to overturn that. And we believe that every board member, like every employee sitting here, is here if at all possible, and we're very dedicated and we put in a lot of extra hours. So when there's a missed meeting, we believe it's this opportunity to restore the pay.
Yeah, it's really a silly thing in I don't know if it's Ed Code or which law that it is, about how board members are compensated, and they tie it to attendance. Perhaps that's the only thing. And yet, as you all know, the bulk of your work is not here at the 2 to 3 hour meeting, well, 4 hour meeting with the board workshop starting once a week. It is, as you hear from your board communication, et cetera, everything that you do throughout the month. And so it's a very whopping, very small stipend. But Mrs. Partisani was being a mother and attending to a school event for her child. And so we want those opportunities, a parent not to miss a very important event for their child. And it's a school event, a district event. But yes, we do have to formally bring it forward so that we can move forward with compensation.
So do I have a second? Okay, any more further discussion? Okay, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Oh, roll call, sorry.
Mrs. Partisani?
You can't.
You have to abstain. You can't vote for your own money.
I would like to abstain on this
There
one.
you go.
Mrs. Hill.
Aye.
Mrs. Davidson.
Aye.
Mr. Forehand. Aye. Mr. Bragman.
Aye.
The motion carries 4-0 with one abstention. So now we move on to adoption of resolution by the Board of Education to authorize closing funds. And Mrs. Schnur, would you like to address that for us?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Madam President. As you know, we have finalized spending every penny that we had from the bond fund. So as we had 5 issuance of bond funds, we had to create different funds for each one of those issuances. So it was Fund 2129 all the way to 2133. So we are requesting the County Office of Education and County Treasurer's Office to close those funds. Any residual interest will go into our facilities funds, Fund 40.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
So moved. Did you move it?
Well, the resolution is.
The resolution.
So do I have a second?
And I second it.
Okay, any discussion?
No, we didn't have a first.
That's.
We didn't have a first.
I make the motion to adopt that.
Thank you.
So we'll go
And
through
I'll
the same row.
Thank you.
We just asked her to explain it before we did that.
Okay, is there any discussion? Thank you for the very hard work. And when we think about the funds being gone, it hurts our hearts until we look at what the funds did.
Yeah.
And that's pretty amazing. So this is a roll call.
Mrs. Pardesani.
Aye.
Mrs.
Aye.
Hill. Mrs. Davidson.
Aye.
Mr. Forehand.
Aye.
Mr. Bragman.
So the motion carries 5-0. Now, adoption of Resolution 2526-7. I'm going to let you explain that, Mrs. Schnur.
Yes, thank you, Madam President. As we said goodbye to our bond funds, we are now applying for additional funds, hopefully from the CTEFP, Career Technical Education Facilities Program. This is the 7th round of state funding that's available for school districts to apply. We are going to submit 2 applications. One is under the sector of health science and medical technology using the pathway of sports medicine. We hope that we could receive new construction funds using the new weight room in the gym. Hopefully we can get some funds, as well as a second application we are submitting for the sector under arts, media, and entertainment from the CTE facilities program using the pathway of technical theater using the PAC renovation program project. So this is authorization to submit the applications, and those applications are due December 1st.
Thank you. Do I have a motion for approval?
I'll second.
Discussion?
Do we have any ballpark figure of what we are applying for, Mrs. Schmidt?
The maximum we can get under new construction is $3.5 million. Under modernization or renovation is $1.5 million.
Okay, so are we doing 5 million altogether? Okay.
Hopefully.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Any further discussion? Okay, roll call.
Mrs. Pardesani.
Aye.
Mrs. Hill.
Aye.
Mrs. Davidson.
Aye.
Mr. Forehand. Aye. Mr. Bragman.
Aye.
So now we're looking at adoption of Resolution 2526-8. And Mrs. Schnur, you're on again.
Thank you,
You're
Madam
a busy
President.
lady.
We are. This resolution is procurement of technology equipment pursuant to Public Contract Code, allowing us to use E-rate discounts when we purchase technology items, particularly for Wi-Fi connectivity, and we could potentially get anywhere between 20 to 90% discount on some of these expenditures.
Also move.
Any discussion? Thank you for all the hard work you do to save money and get money. Thank you. Roll call.
Mrs. Pardesani.
Aye.
Mrs. Hill.
Aye.
Mrs. Davidson.
Aye.
Mr. Forehand. Aye. Mr. Bragman.
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0. Now we're on to W, approval to terminate architectural services. Mrs. Schnur?
Thank you, Madam President. As we've mentioned in Weekend Review multiple times, we've kept the board pretty informed of our decision to terminate our architectural services with Racklin doing business as Huckabee that we brought forward back in December of 2024, and from the PAC project that we are kind of behind, and we decided to move forward and try to get a new contract with a new architect.
Thank you. Dr. Pulver?
Oh, I'll move to approve item W.
Okay, and Dr. Pulver?
Yes, I just wanted to provide more context as well. And so as Ms. Galicia shared, Ms. Schnur, gosh, I know I'm going to continue to do that. I apologize. Ms. Schnur shared, we are moving in a different direction. So the PAC has gotten behind schedule. Last April, we had presented a workshop to the board with hopes that the PAC could be submitted to DSA by early October, maybe the end of September. And that has not happened. There are some other structural and other reports that needed to be done. But we just aren't satisfied with the delays, and I felt like we needed to move in a different direction to get this project back on track. And so we have shared this with our performing arts group because Ed Services was already we were anticipating construction starting in early summer at the end of the school year and taking one school year to disrupt the Performing Arts Center and find alternative spaces for all of the venues that use the PAC, the performing groups. And so we've talked with them, and they have shared with us the feedback is the way that our last architect was progressing is contract, where I probably wouldn't get through DSA and construction would start till mid next school year. And then that could potentially have a timeline that would go over 2 school years. And all of our performing arts teachers have said they do not want it to take over 2 school years, like a year, 2. And so we are moving forward. The next contract you'll see, we've moved fast and swift to get a new architect. And so we're optimistic that our new architect, along with, we're bringing on board a construction manager to help move Jim, to help things move along. Our construction manager is optimistic that it's possible that we could have the timeline back up to have construction possibly start in August. And so we're going to do everything we can. We've told our user groups right now we're operating on 2 timelines. We're going to try to operate on that timeline first, but if not, if we can't have construction start in August, then we probably need to delay so that we don't interrupt the season of a school year for performances. And so you'll see at the December meeting too, we're going to try to get the leaseback contractors up in place so that we can get a contractor and our architects working at the same time simultaneously before we submit to DSA to get this project moving as fast as possible. So we are pivoting. Earlier, Mrs. Davidson, you talked about pivoting. We are pivoting to try to get this project back on track because our students in this community really deserve an opportunity to enhance and modernize our Performing Arts Center. Good news in this is we've also expanded the budget. You know, a few years ago, it was an $8 million budget. Then we went to $12 million. And as we receive more of these matching funds, we've now been able to allocate up to $14 million. And I'm optimistic if we needed a little bit more through other matching funds that we may receive, we'll be able to provide that. So we appreciate the work that our previous architect did, but we are going to turn the corner and try to get us back on track.
Thank you.
I just thought it was really important to share all of that information, good or bad. But this is the work that we're taking decisive action to move forward because it's pretty uncommon to move midstream with an architect. But we felt it was important.
That's brave. Do I have any further discussion?
We need a motion.
Oh, I thought
you moved and seconded. Okay, so all right.
Further discussion?
Yes, I just want to say thank you. I think it's not always easy to realize that a change needs to happen and that you all keep the main thing, which is our students and moving things as quickly as possible for this community and our students, and that you're on top of it. I just am very, very appreciative of that.
I agree. And I do appreciate the willingness to pivot. It takes courage and foresight. And I do believe that when you've got so many students dependent on that PAC, that to put it off is just an incredible disservice. So it was thank you. Matt, did you want to say something? No. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Motion carries 5-0. Now we're moving on to 11X, which is approval of architectural services with West Group. And Mrs. Schnur, would you like to explain that?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Madam President. We did submit, submitted 4 proposals to 4 firms for a request for proposals for the Performing Arts Center. And West Group, and we feel that West Group is the most adequate architectural firm to, like Dr. Pulver mentioned, put us back on track. And they're very confident that they can deliver.
Excellent. Do I have a motion for approval?
A second.
Any discussion?
I would just share that West Group is the same architect that did the STEM building, the same architect that did the gym building, so they know our campus very well. And Mrs. Schnur was very astute and provided a very tight timeline to West Group if we can get on track to have construction start in August as part of this contract. And West Group has agreed to trying to meet that timeline. So thank you, Mrs. Schnur, for making sure you put a very tight timeline in there to make this possible.
And we talked about trust, and there's a lot of trust with West Group. So thank you. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. The motion carries 5-0. Approval to hold annual organizational meeting on December 16th, 2025. Dr. Pulver, would you like to explain that one?
Yes, thank you, Madam President. The organizational meeting for the school board is annually where you each approve who will be the new board president, vice president, the officers, and various committee assignments. By ed code, by law, that it needs to occur between December 1st, 2025 and December 20th, 2025. It's not an election year. During an election year, that window gets even smaller because you have to wait for this election to be certified. And so we are proposing to hold it on December 16th. Just note that is one day. Technically, the first interim, I believe, has to be passed around December 15th. We have sought clarity through the county that it would be fine because our board meetings are on Tuesday rather than on Mondays, to be able to still hold the board meeting on the 16th, and we would meet the obligation of passing the first interim timely.
Thank you for that explanation. Do I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. The motion carries 5-0. I have another staple here. All right, so now we are on to approval of warrants. Warrants are the bills that we pay every month, and we get a list of them. And literally, we know how many erasers were purchased. So you do an incredible job in your department, keeping track of bills way better than I do at home. So do I have a motion for approval?
I'll second. 72 pages.
Yeah. With how many on each page? Yeah, 40. So any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. The motion carries 5-0. Now, the joyful moment when we get to look at acceptance of donations. What? So, 6, 7.
Oh, my goodness.
These are all the wonderful donations we've gotten this month from PTAs, Project LEAP, even Scooter's Italian Ice. So that's very nice. Do I have a motion for approval?
I'll second.
And the $22,284.33 for a total of $260,491.50. And that's not since January. That's since this school year began, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
That is since July 1 is our fiscal
July
year.
1. That's very impressive. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Motion carries 5-0. Now, Dr. Weiswright, you're going to talk with us about approval of rate increases.
Yes, thank you, Madam President. Tonight we're bringing forward a rate increase for classified substitute positions to match the minimum wage that goes into effect January 1st. And so we're recommending 2 increases to $16.90, which will be the new California minimum wage.
Do I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. The motion carries 5-0. And Dr. Wainwright, consideration and approval of student supervision assistant salary schedule.
Yeah, that's the same one to match the California minimum wage.
So moved.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion carries 5-0. Our personnel reports. Dr. Wainwright.
Thank you, Madam President. The classified and certificated personnel reports reflect the changes since our last meeting. We recommend approval as submitted.
Thank you. Do I have a motion for approval?
I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion carries 5-0. And we will adjourn this part of the session, but we will be going back into closed session, and we will report out afterwards. Shoshana?